A scent of reflection, a civilization that launched their moon. Before the sky held any moon at all, before the nights had a lantern to soften the dark, there was a civilization on the plain, Earth, but not the one you know. Vast, wandering continents, seas like sheets of hammered metal, mountain ranges that hummed from currents beneath their roots. On this plain lived the Amalgus people, named not for their shape, but for their habit. They built the world out of everything that existed. They believed that nothing real should stand alone. Every tree's grain, every stone's pitted face, every forgotten tool, every strand of cloth, every whisper of history, each was a thread of one continuous tapestry. They walked like humans, but not exactly. Their limbs rearranged subtly depending on the terrain, knuckles for climbing, wide-soled pads for dunes, rolling arcs of bone for tundra flats. Their skin shifted color and texture like cuttlefish, adapting not just to hide but to understand, to meld with their surroundings. And among them lived one child, name lost by time, who had a thought so strange it terrified and electrified the minds of those who heard it. We can build a moon. At first, the idea was a curiosity, then a challenge, then an obsession, a calling that lasted generations. The first moon, the amalgam. The project began with a single speck, a grain of crushed shell dipped in white ash. From that speck came more. The people brought everything they could bear to part with. White minerals scraped from cave roofs, skins of pale trees dried in layered sheaves, marble dust, bone lime, chalked coral, the petals of ghost orchids, utensils polished to mirror sheen, fragments of old tools, children's toys, ancestral amulets, memory stones etched with the names of the living and the dead. Everything on the plain, Earth, once and exactly once, was incorporated. Every object contributed a layer: metal veins, mineral flesh, organic lacework, patches of woven fabric fossilized into the structure, ancient tools crushed and melted into the inner shell. The amalgam grew from pebble to boulder, boulder to hill, hill to mountain, mountain to world core. Each generation added to it. Every layer was coated white, sometimes naturally from carbon's pale states, sometimes artificially, painted with lime, ash, bone, or gleaming powder from the refineries. When the moon was complete, its mass strained the foundations of the world. The launching, to lift it into the sky without shattering it, or the plane beneath, they built, formed a separation engine, a giant ring of counter-rotating forces, people. It was not mechanical, it was ritual, material, and gravitational all at once. When it activated, the ground did not shake long. Instead, the moon rose gently, as if exhaled by the earth itself, pulled upward by a will older than the people who forged it. It basically, under its own weight, fell off the earth. The earth momentarily sank into space, creating a brief pocket allowing enough separation so the moon could perfectly fall into orbit. The moment it caught orbit, the first white glow swept across the world. Night became silver-laced, rivers glimmered, people saw their own shadows at midnight for the first time. The plain erupted in celebration. Songs, feasting, stories carved in clay and water and bone. The two groups and the second moon. The success inspired ambition. More groups formed. Some failed and destroyed their attempts, others surrendered their materials to the main effort. Two major factions survived, vast, organized, determined. Each constructed a moon of their own, but only one succeeded. One moon was deemed worthy and launched. The other was too flawed, too heavy, or too unstable. Its story is lost. The successful moon joined the first, and the Earth had two moons, dancing like twin lanterns across the sky. For centuries, they orbited beautifully. Children grew up never knowing darkness. Farmers harvested by night, explorers traveled by silvered pathways. Life doubled, blossomed, awakened. The crash. 10 generations later, one of the moons faltered. Its orbit deteriorated. Its descent was slow, too slow to deny, too slow to outrun. When it hit, it shattered the western hemisphere of the plane. Millions died. The names of the builders, once heroes, became taboo. History washed them away. After prayers and mourning, the people did what they always had done. They began again. The third moon, the reclamation. Construction began immediately. They worked by day because the nights were pitch black. The misaligned first moon still hung in the sky, but it no longer glowed, its surface drowned by constant sunlight due to its new retrograde path. They gathered every resource, every stone, every artifact, every scrap they could salvage from the ruins. They made the new moon lightweight but durable, matching the original size but engineered with new wisdom. When it was cast into the gravity belt, they spoke the prayer. For the ones lost, for those who built, for those who dreamed the ascent of refraction. The third moon became the one true moon, reigning alone for 10,000 years. The world stabilized. Civilization thrived under its calm illumination. The fourth moon, the secret rebellion. Peace breeds doubt. Doubt breeds ambition. Ambition breeds secrecy. The restless ones said, "What if the moon falters again? Why not enhance the night? We can give people more life, longer days, brighter nights. We can't risk the cycles we've built. We cannot be sure." In hidden caverns, workshops, temples, they built a fourth moon, a second light to accompany the third. It launched in secret, and for a moment, the night became brighter than day. Life exploded in activity, so did conflict. But the fourth moon's orbit was flawed. It struck the old misaligned moon. Neither shattered. Their masses absorbed the blow, sending both into erratic paths. For months, sometimes days, sometimes hours, the sky displayed one moon, two moons, or three at once, a triad of blazing witnesses. The intensity terrified the people. Eventually, one drifted into deep space and vanished. One settled into permanent retrograde, visible but dead, washed out by the sun. Only one remained luminous. The people lived in a world of chaos that somehow still felt balanced, each person's schedule set by whichever moon happened to show itself. The debate unending. And now the generations gather again. Families, scholars, nomads, workers, leaders, children, themselves. The arguments rise. Build another moon to stabilize the sky. No, remove the current moon stuck in retrograde before it too falls. Adjust its orbit. Intervening caused every catastrophe. Not intervening allowed them. It is our duty. It is not our right. They fear action, they fear inaction, they fear repeating the past, they fear ignoring it. And so the story pauses on the edge of creation. The plane waits, the people wait, the moons wait, to be continued.